The problem is you want more right now. You're holding yourself to an expectation that you are not realistically going to meet. And then you're wondering why you're depressed and anxious. You're feeling rushed. You're weighing yourself against what you think you should know by now. And that's bullshit. It's only been 1 week. 1 week. And you think you're supposed to quit your job and be able to double your fucking account in a month. That's not practical, man or lady. It's not something that you should be aspiring to do right now. Can you do that and eventually over time? Sure you can. Absolutely. Let it be a goal that you work towards, but you have to place time and experience and invite the opportunity for that experience to come in and build before you take on those monumental projects and goals for yourself. But the first thing you're trying to learn how to do now is find the setups that repeat. And then once you find that one that repeats, you will learn how to trust it because you see it happening every day. Every day it'll be there. I promise you. Scouts Honor, you will see a fucking 5-handle run every day. Every day. Every fucking day. If that market's open, 5 fucking handles is laid in front of you every single day on a silver platter. You just can't identify it right now. And that's absolutely normal. That's normal. There's no reason to be anxious about that. But at some point, you may be forced to make changes in your personal life to be able to do this. I did. I had to. I had to work 2 part-time jobs to get the difference between what I was earning at my full-time job. It's a lot. One job was across town. One was real close to my home. One paid next to nothing, but those hours were permissible because of the times I'm trying to trade. And I was trying to do that morning session with the bond market. That's what I was trying to trade. That was the thing that I was working towards. And I had to give up, my job so I could be in front of the chart to do that. It's scary, yes. But I didn't do it blindly. I said, I'm going to do this now because I have all this back testing. I have all this forward testing. I have the data to support the fact that I know I can make $1,000 a week in bonds. And I don't need to trade every single day. I'm looking for that one trade for that 1 week. I'm teaching you how to see this every day. That builds confidence real quick, but not to inspire overconfidence. Not, I'm quitting my fucking job tomorrow, man. I'm ready. You got me all hyped up now. No, I'm aligning your perspective and aligning your thoughts with what it is I'm trying to put you through. So that way the experience itself will be the educator. I'm just the coach. I'm putting you in front of the charts when the setups are going to form. Trusting that your observation skills, which are hopefully menial, if you can read, okay, and if you can observe, you'll see it. It'll be there. It'll jump off the chart. Right now, it probably doesn't jump off the chart. I mean, you can see where I'm annotating the charts in the morning session. You can see what I've annotated in the afternoon. Those annotations were real time. They're not added after the fact. So when I talk about what the charts are likely to do, what the next candles and what series of candles and what it should perform, going higher or lower, don't go lower than this, go here, stop, maybe retrace and consolidate and go up here next or go down here next. All of that is experience. That part comes to you over time. How much time? You're all going to learn that differently. Some of you are going to warm up to it real fast and get a feel for reading order flow quick. And some of you are going to require a little bit more time. Do not fault yourself for that. Chances are you're probably just worrying about things and what if thinking. What if I don't get this as soon as I want to? What if, I lose my job now and I wasn't worried about that. Now fucking ICT is giving me a complex. I'm having a phobia about losing my job now. Good. You should be afraid of losing your job. You absolutely should be afraid of losing your job because you're not essential. You're not. You can be made redundant real quick. So you have to have a way of being able to do what? Because if you lost your job, let's just say it like this. If you lose your job, they fired you. You go in on Monday and they say, hey, look, and you're sacked. You're out of here. Here's your pink slip. Goodbye. What the hell? They don't care. They don't care that you have children. They don't care that you have student debt. They don't care that your mortgage went up because they raised property taxes. They don't give a shit. But what are you forced to do then? Go out there and look for another job. That may require you to do a different work schedule, workload, skills that you aren't really that good at yet, but you got to go through the stress of going through it. Why? Because you got to earn money. Okay, the money that's available in these marketplaces, why is it any different? All you're doing is going through the training process to get your certificate, your degree, your diploma. That's what you're here for this year. Some of you want to walk out and be a fucking surgeon just because you read Grey's Anatomy. That's not practical. You can't do that, folks. And this is really technical. And it's very hard, and you're wrestling with the brightest minds in the entire world. And they're trying to beat you. They're making it almost impossible if you use retail stuff. Because those things, they're distractions. And all I'm asking you to do is really look at this chart and figure out where, and don't use these individual swings to justify either. Think about where you are in your personal life. What changes are you comfortable with making to allow yourself to be in these markets watching it live? 2.5, 3 hours of a day, a couple times a week, that's all you need. Because one good setup per week can replace your entire work week and what you earn. It doesn't feel like that, but it's exactly what it is. And when you can repeat it every week, it compounds. And then because you can do that, your confidence level, your trust in yourself and what you're learning and what you have learned will repeat. Then you're willing to do what an entrepreneur does: expand. Make more changes to allow for this to completely and utterly replace your job. But that doesn't happen right away. You can't try to force that to be immediate or overnight. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. You need to understand that, because you're going to hold yourself back by having that mindset instead of just simply saying, okay, I'm rolling my sleeves up. I'm committing this entire year. It's less than a 4-year degree, but you're going to make more than any PhD, any master in business, because there's no limit to this. You pour as much as you want to pour into this, and you get what you get put in. You put shit at, and you half-ass attempts to do it. Don't be upset when you get half-ass results. You're going to lose money when you're doing it, just like when you lose money when you don't make the work. You get sick, you lose money. Your kid gets sick, you got a medical bill. Well, that's a loss. You don't look at it like that, but that's exactly what it is. So there's all these perfect excuses that you're using to not do what's required to be successful in speculation. But if you look at these individual candles here, every individual candle represents 1 minute of time. What's the highest high of that 1 minute interval? What's the lowest low? Where is the opening price of that 1 minute candle? Where's the closing price of that? That's the only thing you're concerned about. And time. When I'm looking at my 1 minute charts, I have a 1 minute chart that's just like this. I have a lot of screens. But if you're looking at price and you don't have this much real estate in terms of the candles, you don't have enough. You're too zoomed in, and it's like looking at the forest with your nose right on the tree that you're closest to. Can you see the forest? No. So you have to be able to see and internalize where liquidity is. Where is the morning session highs? Where is the morning session lows? Where's equilibrium on the range that's already been formed for the day? Where's the liquidity pool that's just beyond what your chart's showing right now, because you're too zoomed in, and you're surprised, like, oh shit, what just happened? Why the hell did that just happen? Where did that move come from? You're never going to hear me say, and you've watched me do it now. Do you ever hear me say, or hear me show a manner like, oh, what the fuck? Oh shit, where the fuck did that come from? I'm not surprised. I'm not fucking surprised. I'm expecting, I'm anticipating I'm already in the future waiting for price to get to where I am. You're going to get to that point too. You're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be gasping in panic and having anxiety attacks because you're watching real-time price action. You want to anticipate how price is going to deliver based on the concepts that I'm sharing with you. And over time, you're going to get better at this than you probably expect to. And that's going to be a wonderful testimony that I can't wait to hear from. You want to know what's going on. What's the science? What's the technical fucking science? Why the market's going to go above that? Where's it going? Well, here you go. The technical science, ICT delivers. There's a fucking algorithm, folks. It's literally booking price based on what I'm showing you here. It's not in books. But you have to start where? Ground zero. Understand where liquidity is. That's going to act as a draw or a magnet on price. If it's going to go up, why is it going to go up there? There's orders up there. It has nothing to do with any other Mickey Mouse fucking patterns that may be below that. That's your religion. That's what that is. You have a cult-like mindset if you believe in supply and demand, Elliott wave, harmonic patterns, animal patterns, trend lines, moving average crossover. None of that shit is the catalyst for why price went up there. The orders resting above those fucking highs, that's the real reason why. There's no other reason why. Zero. You honestly fucking believe that these investment banks, these large funds, these firms out there are literally swinging on the hopes and fucking prayers of these animal fucking harmonic patterns? You really fucking believe that? Like, really? There's billions of dollars being shuffled every day. And you think, honestly, you think that that shit is what they're using? These fucking people laugh at that stuff because it's nonsense. It's the equivalent of the same thing as the last time my elbow was aching, the market went down. I'm going to be a short seller today. It's the equivalent of that. There has to be scientific, something tangible behind it. And you may not agree with an algorithm being here. You may not agree with that's what's really going on. Put that aside. Put that aside for a moment. Is this not more palatable if I'm showing you how to use market structure in a lesson I've already taught, institutional market structure? I'm showing you an advanced version of that, using the logic as to why I called live in yesterday's afternoon PM session. Some of you just don't like me, and that's the wrestling point. Some of you don't like me because you can't keep up with me because you're an educator and trying to sell shit, and you want to try to kick shit in my face and try to mar my image and stuff. Fuck all that. I don't give a fuck. You're not stopping nothing, but you're wasting time and energy because you could learn how to do this and be better and never have to thank me for it. You're wasting your time. I'm not wasting mine. I know how to do this shit. This is my stuff. I codified this stuff. You're all benefiting from your winning trades because of what I've done. You want to know why, how to, and when not to do it? That's what I'm teaching you this year. Stop worrying about all the other shit. Now, listen, folks. Listen. When you have spent 26 fucking years of your life and you look at the market like this every day and you tolerate these fucking imbeciles all over the world that try to troll and they try to fucking make a name for themselves and talk shit, okay? And don't ever bring nothing equivalent to this, not even close. We're not even in the same fucking neighborhood. You are learning the highest fucking form of financial information as a part of speculation. Nothing else is better. Nothing else is more superior to this, okay? This is the shit that Enigma really fucking implements. And you wonder, and you honestly fucking wonder, how am I so accurate? How am I so Well, how does he fucking know? I'm using all of this technical fucking science. You're seeing it live. I'm calling it. I'm telling you what's going to happen. Now I'm out here fucking telling you every individual candle. Really? And you still can't fucking believe me? At this point, I don't give a fuck if you believe me. I don't care. I'm having fun. And I know a lot of you today, because you've walked through this exercise, you literally are jacked the fuck up right now. You're jacked up. You're probably vibrating right now. You're excited because there's nothing random in these markets. There's nothing fucking random in these markets. Not one fucking bit of randomness. Nothing is random. Even when there's manual intervention, when a rate announcement or some Mickey Mouse shit that comes out of nowhere, they rip the markets really, really far, but you're going to look real close and see it's just to a volume imbalance. It's just to a fair value gap. It's just a bump right below a low or a high. Everything I teach you, but I can't humanly predict how far a manual intervention or when a manual intervention come in. Black swan event, some kind of unannounced bullshit. That's the inherent risk of trading. That's always there. And sometimes you'll get hurt from it. That's the risk that every one of us assumes when we speculate. So why are you not teaching with a live account? Because I'm teaching in the most responsible manner I can. I know you want me to put you in live trades. I know you want to do this right away and make money because you'll feel stronger. You'll feel more confident. You'll feel more energized and more plugged in, and you'll be more motivated to study more because then you'll be making money. Whereas right now with a demo, I'm not inspired. If this kind of lesson and this precision doesn't inspire you, get the fuck out of here. Seriously, get out of here. And if you can think that's disrespectful all you want, you're disrespectful to me as a student because you're coming here half-assed, expecting me to pour everything into you, give you signals, and I'm an asshole because I won't do that. No, I'm not going to give you signals. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to pour my fucking time and energy and effort into making you what you want to be. Independent. Not needing me. Not needing anybody. That's why you're here. There's no fucking ad revenue right now. Okay? Nothing. I'm doing this because I fucking love it. I love this. This is my whole fucking life. And you're not entitled to fucking learn this. None of this I'm obligated to teach any of you. My charter members that paid me have never fucking seen this lesson before. They've never seen this before. And the attitude that you motherfuckers come here and are disrespectful to me and say, oh, well, you don't do enough. Why aren't you doing this? And why aren't you doing that? Man, listen, you need to sit down, shut the fuck up, and just take notes. You're going to learn everything and more. It's going to be on my timeline, how I want to deliver it. And at the end of the year, you're going to be transformed. You will be a different person. You're going to be a fucking savage. But you just simply have to listen. Just listen. Take notes, observe, record the things I'm teaching because they fucking repeat. The logic repeats over and over and over again. But you won't appreciate it until you do this kind of work where you dig into the charts and you take the information I'm teaching you to go and say, okay, I'm looking for this. Does it do this? Oh shit, it does. That's exciting, especially when you find it and I didn't tell you to look there. That's what the students, that experience, that epiphany, that aha moment, where they don't need to have any more further convincing about a particular concept that may or may not be acceptable to them initially when they first come here. Once they start seeing it, it's like, oh, wow. Yeah, it's really there. What else can I learn about it? That's the right mindset. That's the right mindset. I do believe that those individuals that have gone through this, and if you didn't go through it live, obviously you can listen to the recording. I'm almost certain that someone's going to be making a video doing the very things over a chart, and that's fine, that's cool. But it would be better for you to try to do it in your own chart, and then maybe look at the folks that do this on their YouTube channel, using this as an exercise when they show it to the viewers of their channel, what it looks like on the chart live. Don't rush or wait for that guy or that gal to do that on their YouTube channel. You're missing the learning experience by doing the audible version of this. Walk into the charts, listening to me, and then have everything mapped out on your chart as you just go right through a blank canvas of data. And confirm that you have the right fair value gaps with the visual aid I gave you on Twitter. If I would have had an experience like this when I was 20 years old, there's no telling where I would have went, because I would have all that time to use this information. For a long time, I've been afraid to share a lot of this stuff because the algorithm's doing things at these specific times that I can't teach you that part. But I can't be faulted or held accountable or punished for teaching you like this. And it was very hard, and a lot of prayer and guidance from a voice that you may not believe exists, but it was guiding me, telling me what to focus on and how to bridge that gap, because I prayed and prayed and prayed. How can I bridge what the algorithm does into a language? That way I can communicate it to others. Look here. Look here. And I took you there today. I did to you how it was done to me. I just cussed a lot. That voice didn't. The effort and time and energy that was invested in trying to make a language and seeing things that would repeat. The algorithm does a whole lot more than what I show. I know most of what it's doing, but there's some things that I can't communicate or was ever successful in bridging, where I can teach very, very close to what this thing does at the times that it does it. So the things that I have been very successful in doing it, and I believe is transferable knowledge that you can see repeats, it's there. That's what my mentorship is. And there's nothing that you can argue about. You can say, you know, I'm a nut job because I'm hearing voices. Okay. I don't care. I'm glad that you say those things, because I will be rewarded for that. But you can't say it doesn't work. You can't say it's renamed retail stuff, because it's not. Just because I'm using a Fibonacci to take your attention to a level, nobody uses a fucking Fibonacci like me. In fact, I've been trolled. Nobody does a Fibonacci like that. You're fucking right, nobody else does that. You're right, they don't. Very specific ranges, when they're multiplied within a specific sequence, reaching to what? Liquidity. It's not limited to just buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity. It's reaching up to an imbalance that you may be targeting as well. And I'll leave that part for you to study on your own. But the first lesson I teach all of my students is to look for the draw on liquidity. That's where the market's going. Why? Because there's real orders there, above the highs and below the lows. Yeah, of course, everybody knows their stuff, but nobody's fucking trading like that until I started teaching it. Everybody's using those double bottoms to buy. Everybody's using the double tops to sell. None of these fucking books was talking about going up there and attacking it. I have no books ever written, ever disclosing that's what you're attacking. You're going to do that. They're all teaching the same regurgitated horse shit. Buy double bottoms. The fuck out of here. I would never buy a double bottom. I would never fucking do that. Never. I would never do that. Despite going back in history and saying, look, here was a double bottom. And I know there's going to be some assholes. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. They didn't trade it, but they're going to show you examples. Look at this double bottom. It moved here. It moved here. Yeah, that's right. And I'm going to be looking at the trade that formed later on that ran through that motherfucker. I can't trade retail. I can't tolerate it. I can't do it. I can't. Those theories hurt me. They fucking took money from me. I'm not going to fall victim to that horse shit no more. And I'm trying to do my best, passionately, and not as eloquent as I probably could if I was a more balanced individual, but I can't stay balanced if I'm in a live session like this. Invariably, I'm going to swing back and forth. And I apologize for that for the folks that don't like that. And I'm not a family-friendly mentor when I'm in a live capacity like this. I'll lose control of my tongue. And that's the only thing I regret ever once I'm ending these things. And I ask for forgiveness, and I'm asking for forgiveness in front of you right now as the listener. I don't want to talk this way. I don't like that part of me, but I can't control it. I wish I could, but I can't. So you have to take that with the good, filter it. I want you to do well. I want you to learn. Whether you believe or not, the best thing you can do for me is to pray for me to be able to get through this year, to be effective in teaching what it is I want to teach you. Because I'm teaching you live. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't ashamed of how sometimes I can't control myself. I don't feel like a good advocate because I can't control how I say things. But what I'm saying is the fucking truth. And I would hate for any of you to listen my delivery method, the approach that I'm using, and the frailness of my humanity and my inability to control myself. I would hate for that to be a hindrance in your learning. And that's the reason why I teach with recorded. I've tried to keep that from being a hindrance. But I know this fucking shit. And I can do this. You're seeing it live. And I don't want to be anything but a conduit where you are improved as a speculator, as a trader, and not at all hindered by anything I've done, taught, failed to be able to do effectively. So pray for me to be able to do this more balanced. I already know it, but I need to be balanced as I'm doing it. I'm a human being, and I have a lot of mental baggage that I carry. And I wish that didn't happen. It's very hard. But there ain't a motherfucker walking that's got as much passion and willingness to teach you that I do. And I just want you to appreciate that, because it's wrestling with me all the time. That's it.